Okay, thank you. We're going to move on to our second session. Dr. Chand.
Yes, dear President, you can, our second person, Dr. Ashish Raj is with us. Dear Professor, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. I think I am audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. A quick intro. This is our second session for the day. It's basically our last session for the day. We'll be focusing on plagiarism detection software, and this will be presented by our professor, Professor Ashish Raj. I'm going to quickly do a short intro about his expertise and his field. Dr. Ashish Raj, a visionary leader in electrical and electronics engineering. And then Dr. Ashish Raj currently holds the position of Associate Professor and serves as the Head of Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering at Poornima University, Jaipur. His leadership in the department has been marked by a commitment to academic excellence and fostering innovative research. His expertise as a seasoned academician, Dr. Raj specializes in the areas of renewable energy, power systems, and smart grid technology. His keen interest in these fields aligns with the evolving landscape of electrical engineering, emphasizing sustainable and intelligent solutions for the future. His research contributions with a prolific research portfolio, Professor Ashish Raj has made significant contributions to the academic community. His research has found expression in over 50 published papers across repeated and indexed journals, as well as international conferences. Wow, this is interesting. This extensive body of work reflects not only the depth of his knowledge, but also his dedication to advancing the frontiers of electrical and electronics engineering. His international recognition. Professor Raj's work has garnered attention not just locally, but on the global stage. His participation in international conferences and collaborations underscores a commitment to fostering an inclusive and diverse perspective in the field. Wow. Recognizing the interdisciplinary nature of contemporary challenges, Professor Raj actively engages in collaborative initiative. His work extends beyond the traditional boundaries of electrical engineering, exploring intersections with related disciplines to provide holistic solutions. And his commitment to sustainable solutions, Professor Raj research is commitment to sustainability, whether delving into renewable energy sources or developing smart grid technologies. His work reflects a vision for more sustainable and energy efficient future. His awards and recognition. In addition to his research contribution, Professor Raj has received recognitions for his academic endeavors, awards, and accolades underscore his dedication to excellence in both teaching and research. And then his educational empowerment as the leader in academia. Professor Raj not only contributes to research and innovation, but also plays a pivotal role in shaping the next generation of engineers. His mentorship extends to guiding students in their academic pursuits and fostering a passion for transformative technologies. His global perspectives Professor Raj's professional journey embodies a global outlook. His active involvement in international conferences and collaborations showcases a commitment to embracing diverse perspectives and staying at the forefront of global advancement in his field. And lastly, his innovation solutions for tomorrow. With a strong foundation in academic leadership, prolific research contributions, and commitment to sustainable solutions, Professor Raj stands a trailblazer in the field of electrical and electronics engineering, poised to shape the future of the discipline. We thank you so much. Wow, this is a heavy, heavy profile. We are very honored to have you. Thank you so much, Professor Raj, for joining us. We welcome you both from the universities and all the participants. Thank you so much. Over to you, Dr. Shant.
Thank you, madam, for the wonderful introduction, and Thanks for this opportunity. So basically, this session is concerned with the topic of integrity in the information era, use of software tools against plagiarism. So basically, in my this session, I will be talking about the software tools. And since in the last session which I joined in the last 15 minutes, I heard about the discussions. So basically, plagiarism is very big issue, and it is very important to understand that what is the meaning of plagiarism, what are the sources of plagiarism, how we can avoid plagiarism, and the most important thing that we should know that what we are writing, whether it is plagiarized or not, because plagiarism is like a disease. So detection is very important in order to cure it and in order to prevent it also. So this session which I am going to take right now, I will be discussing with the tools and technologies which are available for the detection of this plagiarism. And since we know that prevention is better than cure, so we should prevent it by knowing it, and also if it is there, then how we can avoid it, how we can prevent it to spread among our students, among our researchers. So we should have very strong tool to detect it and to control it. So as we know that now we are in a global environment, the whole world is under one umbrella, and integrity is the most important topic of education. In academics, integrity is very important. In the same way, globalization is also important. So plagiarism is very important threat which needs to be addressed in very strict way and very effective way. And in this particular initiative, software tools plays a very pivotal role. It is the main tool through which we can detect that whether the content is original or not. So this session will be interactive. At first, I will be discussing about the basic of plagiarism in 5 to 10 slides. After that, we will move on hands-on practice on some of the tools which we use globally in India and whole world, which is recognized because tools should be very global. Otherwise, the result will be not accurate. So we will go to the hands-on practice. I will show that how different tool works, and we can have some comparative analysis of the results that we get from those tools. So now I am going to share my screen, and we will start with the presentation. So I think my screen is visible.
Yes, sir. Visible.
So I think that PPT is visible in full screen mode now.
Yes, sir. Fine.
And it is changing also.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So the objective of this session is to create awareness about the conduct of the research, to discuss about the prevention of plagiarism in the academic writing, and how we can promote the integrity with the help of the software tools. So starting with the definition of plagiarism, let us start that what is the meaning of plagiarism. Plagiarism is like, as we know that plagiarism is like of presenting someone else's works or idea as its as own. Now plagiarism is not only about the copy and pasting. Plagiarism has many dimensions. Plagiarism can be the copy of idea, not copy of only the words and the phrases and whatever is written, the document. It is one of the part of the plagiarism, but plagiarism involves more than copy. It can be the means it can be the copying of the creativity, copying of the flow of the steps, copying of the results. It is a multi-dimensional approach in which we can purchase something of our own, which is not our own, but it is not inspired, but it is taken from somewhere else, and it is not referred. See, without giving credit, if we are presenting anything a word, we all know one word, intellectual property. So plagiarism, if we define it in a simple language, it is the theft of intellectual property of someone else and presenting it like own. So as we know, academic integrity is very important in our education. Integrity, what is the meaning of integrity? Integrity is like our honesty, ethical approach, our authentic knowledge, and it is a very critical component of education standards, because we know that whenever we conduct an examination, we our most important priority that it should be very means it should very ethical, it should be very strict and original. So in the same way, if we are presenting some work, some document and some assignment, it should be very original, and it should not be like that it just copied and pasted and uh, copied its idea and we are promoting it at its own. So integrity is very important, which should be now in global era in which we have social media, we have lot of in AI tools available. The intellectual property should be very much integrated and it should be very much in control. Now, how technology have evolved and how what are the sources from where we are getting informations? So the technology is available in the form of audio, video, multimedia content. There are a lot of e-sources like journal, ebooks, dissertations, which are widely available globally. We have social networking tools where we are propagating ideas and informations. We have various websites which are circulating ideas, knowledge, blogs, etc. So this internet has like it has collaborated whole world in one roof in which we have all informations available under our fingerprints. So now we are using this available content and we are creating something, saying it as an original work, then it should be worthy. If we are not now, as we know, we all are academicians, we are teaching our students also, we say research paper. We say, whenever we draft some document or some work, there are some categories like research paper, dissertations, some kind of case studies, review work. So for all of these documents, there are some formats. In that format, very a common word is there in all. Whenever we write case study, whenever we write some research paper, whenever we write some dissertations, reference is very important word, which is common to all format. So as we know that we can't write a research 100% of our own. We get information from review, we get information from some sources, we have lot of data available in the internet for database, for whatever thing, but all of these sources should be properly cited. If we are not citing something, it is a plagiarism, and it is the most important crime that we are doing during the integrity in our research. Now, how this word has originated, plagiarism. This word has been derived from the Latin word plagium, which means kidnapping. So it's like an intellectual theft, and it is a very serious scientific and academic misconduct, which we should address very aggressively and with a very precise tool. Now, how if we summarize whatever I have told in 5-6 slides, plagiarism is like an act of using someone else's ideas, work, or words without giving them proper credit. We should have some tools and techniques from which we can identify that, and we should address that. Now, we are using three or four keywords here: idea, process, results, and words. So theft of idea, theft of processes, theft of results, and theft of words. All these terms comes under plagiarism. Now we will see one by one what is meaning of the copying of idea, copying of process, copying of result, and copying of words. So plagiarism involves unauthorized use of all of these things. Okay, so now when we are saying plagiarism of words, what is the meaning of plagiarism of words? Plagiarism of words means if we are using 4 or 6 consecutive words from some document and we are not citing it, or even it is not good to just copy some word and cite it, because you are writing some paper, you have to be original. So we should avoid copying consecutive words from any document without proper attribution. Now idea means that we have some novelty and we are just using that. If, like in computer science, we have some optimization algorithms. So if we are using some optimization algorithms, the person who has proposed that algorithm should be properly cited. If we are not citing it and we are applying it, then that idea directly saying this is novel given by me, then it is a plagiarism. Process. What is the meaning of process? Process means a step-by-step conduction of some experiment, some investigations, or some activities. If we are copying the same process, which is very novel, which has been proposed by someone, and we are not citing it, we are conducting some research methodology, we are not citing it, then it comes under plagiarism. So plagiarism process compromise the integrity of research, and if we are copying some process of research process, then that particular source should be properly cited. So as we know that in management and education, we have some tools and techniques for conducting of research methodology. Whenever we apply that tools in our research design, those tools name, those tool reference, we always used to cite. If we are not citing it, then it is an act of plagiarism. Copying of result. Suppose we are not copying processes, we are not copying words, we are not copying the documents, but directly we are copying some results from somewhere else, and we are paraphrasing it theory, we are just putting it in a unique way, but the results are copied from somewhere else. It is a very serious crime. So we should avoid all of these acts while we are drafting a research paper. So we should one more thing is there. When we are quoting something, we should use the quotations and we should cite the sources. We should cite the original author, original researcher. So if we are citing the source of the idea and we are writing it in our own way, we are using proper flow of the research, then that act should be promoted. Shortcuts and this kind of misconduct should be completely avoided. It all comes under plagiarism. One more thing is very important, and it is done by people, sometime intentionally and sometime unknowingly, both. That is self-plagiarism. Suppose I am a researcher. My research area is solar photovoltaic systems. I have published one paper on some converters, DC to DC converters. One paper I have published, I am writing another paper using the same theory, using the same idea, and using almost similar results. Then it is not good. It is not an ethical work. It comes under self-plagiarism. Means we are repeating our own works and we are violating the Copyright Act, and we are saying that it is a new research work. So self-plagiarism is also a unethical work which we should avoid when we are writing some research paper or when we are guiding some thesis. It is very matter of concern. Now, why people plagiarize? Why we involved in plagiarism? Why our research community are so much involved knowingly or unknowingly in plagiarism? So there are some common issues. The first thing that we understand that we have lack of time and pressure of completion of works. Sometimes we do want to do something, but we have not skills, we have not infra. Then we come under that act of plagiarism. Sometimes ignorance, fear of failure, differences, pressure, easy access to some informations, desperation to do something very quickly, and misguided priorities and lack of consequences. If we are not taking it seriously, then we think that we will move away from it. We will go from it without any harm. So these things is making plagiarism very common. Now, but consequences are there, and now with the evolution of these software tools and with the evolution of globalized internet, the plagiarism can be easily tracked. I will also show when I will go to the hands-on practice how we track and how we have the tools and what are the consequences also. So we should plagiarism irrespective of intent, source, quantity, and copyright. We should avoid it completely. We should have a proper tool for diagnosis of that plagiarism. Now, I have discussed ideas, word information, process, how plagiarism can happen in those kind of things. Now, what is not plagiarism? What comes under real work? What is not plagiarism? If yes,
नहीं तो unnecessary आपका
I request the participants to please turn off their mic.
अपने आप ही वो ठीक है
So if we have few words of similarity, coincidentally it doesn't come under plagiarism. If we have some common knowledge, some idea which are like student, then it is not plagiarism. If we are producing the quantity with the proper citation, with proper bibliographic matter, it doesn't comes under plagiarism. Okay, so now coming to the topic of discussion, because we have 1 hour only, so I am skipping the theoretical part and coming to the hands-on practice and analysis. We are here to discuss about the use of plagiarism softwares. Plagiarism softwares are like your diagnostic tool. Like if we have some disease, we go to the diagnostic center, we have some tests performed on our body, and then we can identify that whether we are affected or not. In the same way, when you draft a paper, when you draft a thesis, then the first and foremost thing that we should know that whether that thesis, whether that paper is unplagiarized or not. What is the level of plagiarism in that? So for that, we go to the test center, and test center is the softwares which are available globally. Now, as we know that a lot of tools are available, like we have a lot of test centers in our city, in every city, then what we think, what we see that whether it is authentic or not, whether it is a standard or not. In the same way, there are a lot of softwares available, open source softwares and commercial softwares. What is the meaning of open source and commercial? Open source means those which are free. They didn't charge anything for plagiarism check. Now, commercial means those tools which are paid and which are globally acknowledged, means those tools are available worldwide and they have some standards which are acknowledged by the institutions like UGC or NAC or some accreditation bodies or research journals. So the commercial tools which are available with us is like Turnitin. Turnitin is a company which provide the software solution for the checking of plagiarism. In Turnitin, there are two kind of product. One is Turnitin and another one is Authenticate. Turnitin is for university or colleges, means for bulk use. For organization, they provide Turnitin. For individual, they provide Authenticate. So if you want to avail the facility of plagiarism checking through Turnitin, and if you are a single user or you have some small group of people, then you can get Authenticate. In the same way, other tool is Drillbit. Drillbit is a new tool, means it like from 2-3 years it is in picture, which is used globally. It is also a tool which check plagiarism and which is valid through the UGC. Third one is Arkund. Arkund, now it is known as Original. It has been acquired by Turnitin and it is rebranded as Original. So Arkund is also a global product for the checking of plagiarism. and Arkund is also registered under UGC. So all of these tools have been acknowledged by AICTE, UGC, and other educational governing bodies. So these are the commercial tools which checks the document, and the result of the plagiarism are good, and they can detect the plagiarism sources very effectively, and it helps in the writing of paper, writing of thesis as the diagnostic tool. Open source tools are a number of open source tools are available, because as we know, everyone is we have a large community of the researcher for writing papers, thesis, so they all are looking for their checking of plagiarism. So number of open source products are there, but my suggestion will be to avoid the open source tool because they are not much authentic, because they don't qualify the standards well, and since they are open source, they may compromise on the quality. So commercial tools globally, if I say the whole world recognize Turnitin, undoubtedly number one plagiarism tool right now available is Turnitin. So most of the scientific community use Turnitin. Drillbit and Arkund are also very much effective. If you have don't access of Turnitin, you can go for Drillbit and Arkund. And as for my knowledge, and as you can check also, UGC are providing these tools, Drillbit and Arkund, to most of the universities for the checking of the thesis and research documents. So now, let me start with the hands-on practice on Turnitin. So we will see that how Turnitin works. I will show you the step-by-step process of the plagiarism check on Turnitin, and how we can remove plagiarism after checking. Means I will tell you the possible solutions that we can have for the minimum plagiarism. In the same way, I will also show you Arkund, that is original. Both are available with us in our university. So I will show you how they work and how you can use them for the checking of document. How you can see the report, because report, the study of the analysis report is also a very important thing that you should know. Like if we are able to understand the plagiarism report, then only we will be able to remove the plagiarism. If we are not able to understand the report, then we cannot remove plagiarism well. So now let's move on to the practice session, and I will start with the Turnitin software. Then we will move on to our Arkund. Okay. So is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So right now I am sharing the screen of Turnitin. Whether it is visible or not, please acknowledge.
Yes, sir.
So at first we are starting with the use of Turnitin. So Turnitin can be reached with the website, which is turnitin.com. You can directly click on the URL and you can log on to Turnitin. Simply, I start from the base. I will go to Google. We will write Turnitin. And this is the first website, turnitin.com. This we have to log in. So the login password and credential can be shared with the university in which there is access. So now I am signing from our university URL. So this is the home page of Turnitin. So as you can see, this is the Turnitin account, which is under our Poornima University domain. Now at first, how we use Turnitin? So in Turnitin, the first step that we have to do, that we need to create a class. Now, as we know, we are writing a paper, some project. So paper and projects are what? Paper and projects are like assignment. So we mostly we give assignment to our students, and where students are present in a class. So the first thing is you have to create a class. Then after class you have to create students. Then for students you have to create assignment, and in that assignment you have to deposit your documents for which you are checking the plagiarism. So the first thing is we have to add one class. So this is the option for adding class. We can add class here. The class type can be selected here. So if you are not administrator, you have to go for standard class. For administrator, you can have master class. So this class name can be anything depending on your uh, type of class or type of work. You can have some key for the enrollment key, which can be shared among a student for joining. We can select the subject area. You can have multiple subject areas also depending on your requirement. It will help Turnitin to work better. The level of students can be selected from here. The start and end date for the submission of assignment can be selected from here. So I am just selecting some random dates. Now I am submitting it. The class has been created, and I have created the class with the name test1. So this test1 is visible here. Now the class is created, and now this is visible on the home page. Then after we have to go to the class. When we go to the class, the first thing we have to do, we have to create an assignment. So I am creating one assignment here. I am writing the title test 2. Again, the start end date. Now the significance of this start and end date is that after the end date, students will be not able to check their report in this particular class. So we have to select the start and end date. Then now this test 2 is now present here. You can see we have created an assignment test 2 in the class test 1. So now this test 2 is present here. It is created. Now the second thing, that students should have some email ID registered with the Turnitin. So list of students can be seen over here, and we can add a student also. So I am adding one student. I am myself adding it. So now this student is registered. We are again going to Turnitin. We are going to our class. Then we are going to our assignment. Now see, one student is visible here. Now this is the home page of assignment. Now in this home page of assignment, we can submit files here. Now this option is available. You can see submit file option. Before you submit file, the most important thing is to check the settings of assignment. This is the most important thing. Without checking the settings, you should not submit any file. So now I will discuss the settings of Turnitin. You can see here we have this settings option with some basic settings and optional settings. So this setting we have already done, the name, deadline. Now we have to click on optional settings. In optional setting, I have heard one question in the previous session. Someone asked, what is the level of plagiarism, sir, which is accepted? So the level of plagiarism which is accepted depends on the university and university. And if you are studying in one university which have some guidelines, your plagiarism uh, report should also be of the same guideline. Otherwise, it is not relevant to you. So those standards and those filters are basically selected over here in this setting option. So in the first option you are seeing here, submit papers to repository standard institution, no repository like that. So if you are a student and you are checking plagiarism, or if you are a teacher, you are checking plagiarism for some drafting, for some editing, then you must know that this setting should be on no repository. Because if you will click on the repository section, your document will directly go to the repository of Turnitin, and once it will go to the repository of Turnitin, and if you will check your file again, it will be showing at 100% copied, submitted to the repository of Turnitin. So repository option should be off at the student level. If your work is completed, your file has been deposited to your exam cell or whatever your authority, then that property, your work is the property of your institution, then institution will deposit it to the repository. So but this option is available to the users. So mostly to the instructors and students. So you should avoid this submit paper option, and you should always click set it on no repository unless until you are the authority to deposit the content to the repository of the university. So once your thesis is completed, some research work is completed under the university, then it is the right of university to deposit the complete work into their repository. But students should avoid and teachers should avoid that. Then if you will do it mistakenly, then it will come under the plagiarism. And it will show on whole world that that document has been submitted to Poornima University. So this thing should always be off. Then some instructions like submission after due date, exclude bibliography content or not, exclude quoted material matters or not, small sources you should exclude or not. So if we will click on a small sources, then how much word count you should avoid? 5 word, 3 word, 4 word, these all depends on the university. How much percentage you should avoid? Like in Rajasthan, in our Jaipur and Rajasthan Technical University, for MTech dissertations, 1% plagiarism is avoided. Less than 1% source should be avoided. So that can be changed over here. In some university, 5 words plagiarism is avoided. So that filter should be set over here. Now these are the settings, whether you want to see the repository or not for the checking, and whether it is submitted in repository somewhere else or not. These things you can check over here. So this is very important setting which you have to do, and after this setting, you can submit your research work for the check of plagiarism. So I have done it. Now I'm ready to check some file. So what I have to do? I have to go to the assignment section. I have to submit file. Now, when we submit file, we have some options over here, like whether we are checking single file, whether we are checking multiple files, whether we are cut and copy something, some paragraph I am checking, or GIF file. So if you have multiple files or you have large number of files, you can take it in a GIF file and you can upload it directly. You can have multiple file upload option, you have cut and paste option. So these all options are available. So I am showing you single file upload option. Here you have to select the student. You have to select the submission title. You have to select from Google Drive or Dropbox or whatever you have there. Suppose I am checking this report. So now this report will be uploaded. You can see the like we will get a feedback that uploading is in progress. It will take just 2 minutes or so. Now we have to confirm it. Now see, in this test section, now we have one file with a title that we have uploaded, and here you can see one option is coming which is showing similarity, and here it is blank. So it means the checking is in progress. After a few minutes, when you will refresh the page, you will get some value over here. and that value will be known as the plagiarism report. Now see, I have checked it. I have checked this document. Now here it is showing 100%. It means this document is already published, or if it is a thesis, then it is already submitted, or it has some source. See, so when we see here, now again I am repeating, we have to click on the similarity section. When we will click, we will get a new pop-up window, and in this pop-up window, we will get the plagiarism report. Now here we have this plagiarism report. I think this window is visible to you. Here we can see our content is highlighted with some color coding, and in the rightmost bar, you can see we have some options. I will discuss it one by one. The first option over here is for flag. So flag is basically used to detect hidden text or replace text. See, plagiarism is like a crime. So our students, smart students, or the people who want to bypass the plagiarism, they are always looking for shortcuts, how to breach the turnitin. So some students do what? Some people do what? They insert hidden text like dot after each word and hidden like in white uh, color. So the Turnitin will consider it as a single word. So it will be unique, so no plagiarism. So Turnitin had worked on it, and they have come out with a solution in which they can detect the hidden text. In the same way, people replace some text. So that also comes under plagiarism. So suspected replacement, they also detect. And now coming to the 100% repository section. So you can see this paper had been submitted to some AVP university. So this is coming under 100% plagiarism. So this is the plag report in which you can see some reports and some highlight. I will again check a document in which there will be multiple plagiarism of the multiple sources, which I will discuss with you. Just wait 1 minute. I'm uploading another document. From here, you will get the remove option. You can remove it. Now I'm uploading one research paper, and we will see that what is the level of plagiarism in this. So let it be checked. In the meanwhile, I am opening one more tab with Arkun, which I will show you. See, so you can see now the similarity is 16% in the second paper, which I have submitted over here. And let me show you the plag report for through which we will be able to understand. So see, now this is a document in which we have a scattered plagiarism. And as we can see that the plagiarism is 16%, it means that a number of sources are there. You can see 2%, 1%, 1%. So these are the percentage level of the total word count and the count from the given source. So you can see here we have scattered highlighted text. It means that this paper has not been written copying from a single source, as well as the contents are under, means under some limit. It should be less than 10%, but 5-6% more plagiarism is there. Now when a student will read this report, he will be able to identify that which paragraph, which words are coming under plagiarism. For example, you can see here in this section, you can see over here, this line is basic a definition of epilepsy. It is coming under a plagiarism. Means we have 5-6 words similar from a single source. So students should modify this paragraph and they have to rewrite it in a unique way. Then this highlighted text will be removed and the content will be termed as original. So this report is basically having highlighted text with some, you can see the coding 40, 51, 30. What is meaning of this? 1, 2. So this 1, 2 refers to the number of the sources in the descending order of the plagiarism. Means the first source is the source from which maximum copy is there. The second source is the second source on the based on the level of the number amount of copy. Now, so if the total we have some 50 around 56 sources, and those 56 sources are ranging from 2% to less than 1%, and subsequently they are arranged in this paragraph. So students should know that we should highlight on this 2111 source, means most of the sources should be less than 1%. That document is perfect. So the study of this report can give the idea that from where we have the maximum content copy. Now this report can also be downloaded. See, before downloading, I will show you some more options. Now I have shown you this flag option. In this document, there is no flag, so no flag is coming. This is the similarity index option. This third option is an option in which the user have permission to exclude the sources, but it should be used very wisely. If you are just clicking on a source and you are excluding it, then it will be deducted from the total plagiarism. But it is not ethical if you are hiding some authentic source and you are making your plagiarism means plagiarism less through this filter option. So it should be avoided. Then third one is your amount of word and amount of percent, how much you want to ignore as per the university norms. So this setting is done with the filters and settings option. Then if you are hiding some sources that I have done right now, those sources will be displayed under this particular option, excluded source option. Now this arrow, bottom arrow is to download the document. When you will click on it, you can download the document by clicking on current view. If you will click on it, then this plagiarism report will be now downloaded as a PDF form for your usage, and for whatever purpose you are using it, that report will be downloaded. So in this way, we can use Turnitin. You can see our document is being downloaded. One download is in progress. And now I will show you the downloaded report. Now this report is downloaded. You can see this is the plagiarism report with the details of the submission and character count. And the content which we were seeing online, the same content is visible over here. So in this way, we can use Turnitin and we can access our report. We can evaluate our report with different sources, and subsequently we can reduce the plagiarism with the effective measures. Now the second tool, because we have less time, I am just going to the second option. This is the Arkun, which is also known as original. It is now acquired by Turnitin. So previously it was known as Arkun. So you have to log in over here. Once you will log in, there will be some option. It also works like Turnitin. You have to, but here it is more user friendly. You can directly upload document the plagiarism report will be sent to your email ID also. The first thing it detect is the email ID. And subject area, we can check multiple files if we want to add. Just wait, I am just showing you the Arcun report. Just wait. So here you can see this is one report which is being checked by Arcun. This is the downloaded report of Arcun. So here you can see we have similarity index, we have the analyzer address, okay, and in the same way as you can see in Turnitin we have the sources in the decreasing order of the percentage. Here you can also see we have the some sources with the decreasing order of percentage, and these are the paragraphs which have been copied from the sources. So Arcun report can also be downloaded in the similar way. Okay, so this software have some limitations because Arcun has not access to some of the journals which are means paid and which are not open sources. So in Arcun we have some limited checking facility. And whenever you are publishing an article in a reputed journal, most of the journals are using Authenticate. Authenticate is the single user version of Turnitin, or they are using Turnitin. So Turnitin, you can rely. Another one more tool is there, Drillbit, which is provided to all of the university. I can show you one Drillbit report. I think my screen is visible. This is one report which has been checked by Drillbit. This is the Drillbit website, drillbit.com, that you can directly search. And in Drillbit also you can see this is like a Turnitin like interface in which you can show that what are the sources which can be excluded, what are the bibliography, how much percentage, how much words you have included. And now they will just similar report. This is 14% similarity report of Drillbit. Now sources, whether what are the sources from where the report has been copied, and the same way the reports are having the highlighted text in them, and those texts are showing from where the document has been copied. So now I hope that you are able to understand the significance of the plagiarism report and how the similar tools are working towards the same goal of the checking of plagiarism. I have shown you three tools: Drillbit, Turnitin, and Orkun. Depending on the university, you must be getting at least one of the tool in the university. Some university have Drillbit, some university have Turnitin, some university have Orkun. All of them are effective. Depending on the availability, we should check our document on particular tool. If you are writing research paper, then my suggestion will be to prefer Turnitin because it is a global tool which are used by most of the reputed journals. So Turnitin report is more reliable. So this was like a basic idea of how the plagiarism tool works, how we get the report, and how we have to read the report, and we have to take the respective action for the detection of plagiarism. As you have seen, in the most of the cases, we have different sources. We have the sources of the data available to the internet. We have the sources from the publication. We have sources of a student paper. What is the meaning of a student paper? A student paper means those things which are already in the repository. Like some repository is Sodhganga, some repository is like of the foreign universities. For India, it is Sodhganga and Sodhgangotri. Like in foreign universities, we have the repository of all the institutions. So these tools should have access to those repository. Then only they can provide the valid report. Suppose you are using someone else's thesis and you are writing a research paper on it, and if the tool has not the access to the repository, then it will not be able to detect the plagiarism. And if you will publish, if your article is online, then in any course of time, if the person who has done that work, they can sue you, they can take the legal action against you. So we should not take it very lightly. We should take the plagiarism very seriously if we are living in a global environment, because whatever we are writing, whatever we are presenting, whatever we are publishing, those things are in internet. And if you are doing a valid publication, it will remain in internet forever, and it should be very novel. Otherwise, it can harm our reputation, as well as it can create serious consequences. I'm giving you one, I will not quote the name of journal. You can just Google it and you will find one very recognized SCI journal, which used to publish a lot of papers. They have to remove thousands of articles because of the complaints of particular copyright holder. And a large thousand of articles have been removed to avoid the conflict of plagiarism. It is very serious concern, and due to the availability of different sources, now it is very easy to copy and paste and get the information, ideas and processes and publish it saying its own. But we have to be very sincere whether we are publishing ourselves or we are publishing it with a student or any scholar, because ultimately it is very serious crime. Now coming to the, again back to the presentation. So I have shown you this Turnitin interface because we were running out of time. So I've directly done it, irrespective of showing you in the PPT. Now, how to avoid plagiarism? The plagiarism can be avoided by being honest. We should use the referencing very uniformly and very rigorously. We have to understand the guidelines. We should avoid copying from a single source, because in the most of journals, more than 1% from a single source is not means permitted. So we should avoid copying or taking idea from a single source. We should write things, concepts into our own scenario, in our own case. We should prepare footnotes. We should use the quotations very wisely. Whenever we are referring some data, factual figures, definitions, we should refer it very accordingly and very logically. Reference management is very important. If we have better reference management, if you are writing, avoid the use of paraphrasers. Paraphrasers are available nowadays. We can just swing the content and you can get the authentic language, new language. So it is very, nowadays it is in very popular culture for avoiding plagiarism. So those paraphrasers should be used very wisely. You should not use it for showing someone else's work in our own, because ultimately it is known as plagiarism of higher order. It should be avoided. People are known to it and it can be tracked easily. So these all sources should be disclosed. Large amount of other people work are used, then permission must be sought. So if you are using some database, if you are using some information, either take a consent, otherwise refer it, and avoid any kind of like conflict should be very much avoided. And copyright is very important nowadays. So fair use of intellectual property should be done, and if we have some material available in the internet, it doesn't mean that you can directly copy it and you can change it and you can say that this is our own. So now I'm coming to the consequences. If we are doing it, then at an academic level, we can have some penalties. We can have some blacklisting from the journals. We can have some reduction in our API, means in for a student, they have reduction of marks, misconduct. And in professional level, we can even have the termination, and our means authenticity will be under the question mark. So a very small step can avoid the big consequences. So the first step that we should follow when we are writing some article or we are writing some thesis, that it should be checked with the help of the valid plagiarism tool. I have shown you here the 3 tools which you can search. These tools are acknowledged very widely and they are reliable. You can rely on the reports of on these tools, and still you, if you take it seriously, then the fruit will be the resultant will be very fruitful, and your work will be acknowledged throughout the time and no one will question on the authenticity. So I think that I have discussed the use of the software tools. And as we know that right now we have lot of online informations available, so scholars are looking for the shortcuts. People think that AI tools are here which can generate, generative computing is there, regenerative, they can regenerate anything based on our query. But now these tools are also equipped with AI. So if you are writing some paper with the help of AI, Turnitin will detect the AI and it will show that how much percentage you have copied from Google Bard or Chat GPT or any like AI tools. So when those papers are going online, now I just answer one question which I have in my mind, and I think you can also think about it. If I have published some paper with AI and it is now online, now the paper is published, what is the issue? We have generated with AI. So you are generated with, you have generated with AI. But if that paper anyone can check on Turnitin, now what they will do, they will exclude the source. Which source? Your research paper source. Now when they will exclude the research paper source, the Turnitin will check it as an original document. And when it will check it is an original document, then if you have copied it from AI, the Turnitin will show you the report that this document has 70% AI. Now, if someone have that report, then Turnitin report is always considered as authentic. Then that person can question you that your work has been copied from AI. This is not novel. So even if we are successful in getting the paper published, after that also we have the risk of the consequences of plagiarism or misconduct of the ethics. So we should take it very seriously, and with the proper time management and the proper work management, we can tackle it. And we have to be very honest, then only we can tackle this situation with the help of these tools and our self means effort and all the things. So I think that the application of the tools, the interpretation of the results, and their application for the reduction of plagiarism, I think it is clear. If you have some queries, you can ask me. I will be happy to give you the answer related to your query. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Much appreciated, Professor Raj. Very nice presentation. We enjoyed the session. Any questions from our participants? Please unmute yourselves if you've got any questions.
Hello.
Yes.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir. You are
Yes,
audible.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yes, sir. I have a question.
Yes.
Okay. First of all, I'm Satish Chakma, PhD scholar in Mysore University.
Okay.
My question is, sir, I used to write some articles
Yes.
for publications, and the articles which I used to write, I check on the online about the plagiarisms. So like Quillbot and some other websites, I check the plagiarism. So how reliable is it, sir?
Okay, sir, I am giving you answer. You have used the word Quillbot here. So
Yes, sir.
Quillbot is basically, see, when I have started my presentation, I have compared open source tool with the paid tools,
Yes, sir.
commercial and non-commercial.
Yes, sir.
Arcun, Turnitin, and Drillbit are the commercial acknowledged tool. What is the meaning of commercial? Commercial means our regulatory bodies like UGC, AICT have approved them, and journals are also relying on them for the checking of plagiarism. Now,
Yes, sir.
if you are checking it on Quillboot, if you are checking it on Plagiarism Checker X, lot of other Viper, lot of tools are available. Quillboot is basically a paraphraser.
Yes,
So
sir.
their main product is the paraphraser. They are promoting AI writing.
Yes, sir.
So they are promoting their plagiarism tool only for, like, I cannot say that any company is good or bad. But again,
Yes, sir.
my answer is that tool is not registered with the AICTE, UGC, or some accreditation bodies.
Yes, sir.
So if you are writing a good level of paper, go to your university. They must be having Drillbit or Turnitin. Use that tools. They must be available with the professors as well as some research students. So rely on that. Don't rely on the use of Quillboot, because it is not known to me, or it is not validated that whether Quillboot has access to the repositories or not. Otherwise, you will have some disease and it will be not able to detect. It's like that. I have some disease and my test is wrong. Then how I can know that I will think that I am very much fine. But so it is just like a diagnostic test. The test must be standard. It should not be like substandard.
Yes,
So
sir.
don't rely on open source as much, because open source is having lot of limitations. And if you are writing research paper, then it is not well.
Okay,
For
sir. Thank you
bloggers,
very much.
for bloggers and for
Thank-
theoretical website designing, it can work, but not for research paper.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you very much,
Thank you,
sir.
Satish.
Welcome.
Thank you, Satish, for your question. All right,
Thank
we've
you,
got
madam.
another question. Thank you. We've got another question from Tijani Adamu Waziri. Tijani, you can go ahead and ask the question. Tijani Adam. Okay, I don't know what happened to him. Okay, I don't know what happened to him. Any more questions? Any more questions? All right, Professor. I think we're good to go. I think we're fine. I think everyone, they clued up with today's session. And we just want to thank you so much for your time and your effort on this wonderful session. We enjoyed it. And we just want to say thank you on behalf of the participants and the universities. We would just like to say thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And, whatever that we've learned today is going to take us far, and we will implement it in our communities. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
A great day to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. And lastly, before we forget, Professor, we would just like to thank you. This is basically a token of appreciation from us to you. All right. Yes. And this consists of universities. We've got Sardar Patel University, which was organized, and then Vala Vendega, India. And then we've got Poornima University, Jaipur, India, City University, Punjab, India, Nexus University, which is us. We're based in South Africa. And then we've got Association of India, ELTA Jaipur, Chapna, India. And then lastly but not least, MathTech Thinking Foundation, Vasika in India. Thank you so much. The token from us.
Thanks a lot.
To you. Thank you. Dr. Chand?
Yeah, thank you very much, dear professor, for your valuable and informative session. And I hope that the session is really very helpful and knowledgeable to all the participants who attending this session. And also, dear Borotolo, Thank you for your valuable time and chairing the session.
Thank you. It's my honor, Dr. Chand.
Thank you. Thank you to all. And dear participants, tomorrow we will join the session at the same time. The link will be shared to you on the WhatsApp group to join the session. And a feedback form will be shortly available in your group. Please check your group after 5 to 10 minutes. We will share with you. And the recordings of each session we are uploading on the YouTube playlist will be available in the WhatsApp group. We are sharing all the information for you so that this 14 days faculty development program may be end with the grand successful, very knowledgeable, informative to all the participants. And once again, thank you very much to all the entire team and the faculty development program, all the members who are engaging in this program. Thank you to all. So it is time to end the session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Bye, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.